Great things, Mr. Irie. Welcome back to the Reggae Up Yourself podcast, brother. How you doing?
I am good, my brother. I give thanks every day that I wake up.
True.
I give thanks and praises. You know what I mean? That is the main thing. As a musician right now, with all what's going on, obviously it's rough because as musicians, we love to see people.
For true,
We love to travel.
For real.
We love to see the world, and that's part of the thing that draws us to the music. You know what I mean? The fact that we can travel, meet and greet, and so I'm really missing the fact that I can't go out and meet the fans them and bring the music to them. But apart from that, you know what I mean? Obviously it's ups and it's downs, because everybody's losing people, along the way. So you have the downs, and then you still have the joys of still making and creating new music.
Yeah, man.
And still pushing the music out.
But true, while I'm seeing some good stuff from you as always still. But before we really go into it, I want to know how you actually coping with the lockdown right now. Because like you said, you're not able to actually go out and meet the fans and stuff like that. So how are you spending your time not being able to do anything?
Yeah, well, most of the time, obviously, oh no.
Are
we still there?
Yeah, man, that's all right, brother. That's all right. That's technology for you. That's cool, man.
Things happen. Phone drop. But anyway.
Natural, yes.
Yeah, but the lockdown, I'm just keeping myself busy. I mean, I'm a sound man. Yeah. And obviously I have a vast catalog of music. So people been requesting me to do dub plates. So sure. I've been doing a lot of dub plates for sound systems all over the world. Today, I did one for a sound called Shashamane in Kenya.
Oh, that's a big sound, man. That's a big sound. I know about Shashamane. It's a big sound.
Yeah, I've been doing dubs for them. And my missus, as she started an agency called Dub Plate Central.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, so I just been helping her with the agency. She instead of I'm her boss, she's my boss now. So I'm just helping her, with the agency. So I've been keeping myself busy, man. You have to try to be proactive, not reactive. That's why I admire you, and I had to come and support your podcast, because you're always doing something, and even watching somebody like yourself inspires me to want to get up and do something too. So I mean, I go for my walk.
Yeah.
In the daytime, I'll have a little hour walk. I try to walk about 3 miles or something to get a little exercise.
Yeah.
But just the regular things. In the evening, I wind down, watch a little movie. I'm a football fan, so I like to watch my football and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to keep myself active online, doing positive things.
Yeah, man. So actually, before I move on, I want to say big respect for when you say you admire what I do, because actually you're one of the artists that I admire most for years as well. So
thank you.
So I got so much love and respect for you, man, because you're so highly rated by everybody that I know, like literally, you know what I mean? Everybody always have something good to say about your humbleness is like amazing, you know what I mean? So big respect for that. So, and also before we start properly about the music, so you say you're a football fan. Are you a Man United fan?
No, sir.
You're a Spurs fan, aren't you?
No. You're getting worse.
You're a Tottenham fan.
Oh no, you're swearing at me, man. You're swearing at me, man. Don't swear at me, man. I'm a Gooner for life, man. I'm an Arsenal man for life, Bridget.
I already know that, blood.
You know, right? So I walked right into that one, right? Yeah, no, I
I know.
I can't just if you mention Man United and Spurs, that's we might have to cut off the podcast, Bridget.
Bro, I knew that's why I did it. How many times I see you in your scarf and talking about the game on social media.
Yeah.
Push the button, you know.
Nah, my brethren Crucial Robbie, he's running Arsenal Fan TV, you know what I mean? And we've been friends for years. I don't know if you remember a tune called Proud to be Black.
Yeah, man.
You know, but Robbie done that tune back in the day, and I know him from Sovereign Sound, him and his brother Lloyd. Yeah. So we all been Arsenal fans for years, you know. When I get the opportunity, when they had fans in the stadium, I can't even believe that it's been so long that I've not been to a live game. But yeah, I go and watch the Arsenal, man. I love it. That's one of my passion.
I know you're a big fan of Arsenal, man. That's why I figured I would actually draw you out a bit. So
all right.
So anyway now, let's talk music and career, Mr. Irie.
Yes, sir.
How old were you when you actually started singing? And actually, before you answer that, all fire on that one. I like to give people proper information and detail. Where exactly were you born and raised?
I was born in London, in Dulwich Hospital, in South London. And obviously we grew up, I started in Dulwich, and then we moved to Brixton at a young age. And I was staying in Brixton for a while with my family. And then when my dad went back to Jamaica, we moved up to Streatham. Yeah. So I spent a lot of my teen years from Dulwich as a youth. And then I went to school in Loughborough Junction, which is like, off of Cole Harbour Lane, in Brixton. And then I went to Brockwell School as well in Touse Hill, which is in South London. Yeah. And then I went to Beaufoy Secondary School, which was in Kennington, right by the Oval. Right by Kennington Oval. I know you is a budding cricketer.
Yeah, for real. That's what I'm thinking. I'm all about the cricket. I mean, you see me turning around. I'm looking to see if I see my charger for my computer, because I want to make sure that this thing doesn't.
You don't run out.
Don't run out. you know what I mean?
You don't die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. I used to. In fact, I'm not as good a cricketer as you, but I was pretty good when I was young. I went. I got trials for London.
Okay, it must be good. So I was a batter bowl.
I was an all-rounder, man. All-rounder. Okay. So I was a medium. Medium pace bowler. Sure. And a decent batsman,
All right.
Yeah, I was quite good.
Oh, that's wicked. That's wicked, man. I love my cricket even now, you know what I mean? So basically, Mr. Irie.
Yes, sir.
What was life like growing up for you as a youth in London?
Well, I have to give thanks, because obviously my parents were two hardworking people, My mom, she was a caterer. She was a hairdresser. Back in the days, our parents did a lot of things to put food on the table. But my dad was also a greengrocer, So my dad had a corner shop. Yeah, greengrocer. So that's like a shopkeeper. It's a retail shop. It's a shop, where you sell vegetables. You hear them word there, though, greengrocer. I can't tell you a Jamaican, you don't know them word there.
Jamaica, we don't know that thing. Jamaica, we never heard about that, You
never hear about that one there.
Jamaica, when you sell Igla down at the market,
Yes, he was an Igla. And even when he went back to Jamaica, he used to still do that at Ochi Market,
Okay.
Right in at the market in Ochi Raya State. He used to sell him food panels. He used to have him stall. He used to have a big store down in Ochi Market. But he was a greengrocer, so he sold a lot of vegetables and normal sweets and stuff. So all of the kids them used to love me because my dad had the sweets.
Yeah, man, you got so with the pocket full of sweet.
Yeah, pocket full of sweet. Some used to have enough friend, enough friend. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time with my dad.
Yeah.
Because Jamaican parents, the discipline was strong.
Yes, man.
And serious. So when I used to go to I used to just basically go with him in the mornings to the market, to buy the supplies for the greengrocers. So most of my days I spent with my dad, going back and forth to market, getting stuff like that. And then obviously I used to play football a lot. I used to play for the school teams in every sport: football, basketball, cricket, every team. I was in every team at school. You know what I mean? So I was at the weekends, I would go and play football and cricket, and I used to be in the basketball team. So yeah, I was very sporty.
Very
active.
Active, yes, very active. That's
what
I'm looking for. So
yeah.
At what age did you started singing?
Well, you'd have to say from my idea, my knee, them saying a Jamaica, innit?
And right, so very young. So, and what was the
very young? You just why? Well, my dad had a sound system.
Okay.
Yeah. His sound system was called Musical Messiah.
And that was based where in London was that?
In London, in South London, in it was a shubin. My dad used to run a shubin, He used to run like we used to have the greengrocers and on the ground level. Yeah. And then we used to, when we left Dulwich, we moved to Cole Harbour Lane, off of Cole Harbour Lane, a place called East Lake Road. I don't know if you know Flaxman Sports Centre.
No.
Well, it's around that area there anyway. And we used to have a building. So my dad leased the building and he had a shop on the ground level. And then on the top, we used to live, he had 2 floors above the shop.
Yeah.
And we used to live there. And then in the basement, he had 2 rooms downstairs. Yeah. So my dad used to keep parties and blues dance every Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
In the basement of the house. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where I kind of got my schooling from my dad, because he used to play U-Roy, God rest his soul. I still can't believe he's gone, you know what I mean?
That was very sad news when I see that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, and Dennis Al Capone.
Yeah, he's a big one. He's a big artist as well.
Trinity.
So those guys growing up with you at the same time when you're performing? Them guys are like, those guys are older than you?
No, they were just my heroes from Jamaica.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
those guys, they're a few years older than me,
Yeah. So basically, because I've seen videos of you like as a really young teenagers, and things like that. You know what I mean?
I made my first. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Continue.
Interrupting you. Go on.
No, I was gonna ask you if you can remember your first record and what age you was.
I was 17.
And can you remember what was it called? Do you remember?
It was called The Opposite.
The Opposite.
The Opposite. The opposite are right, it must be wrong. The opposite are weak, it must be strong. The opposite are Prince Charles, are Lady Diane. You know what I mean? And yeah, so we used to, that was my first ever tune. It was produced by Aswad, actually.
That's a big thing, man. Aswad's like massive, isn't it? Even till today.
Yeah. They, Drummy, Zeb, and Tony Gadd from Aswad, they produced my first ever tune. It was on a B-side of this, there was this guy called Tokes. And the tune is called My Valentine. It was produced by Sir Lloyd.
Okay, Sir Lloyd Coxon.
Which is no. Sir Lloyd is a sound system that was based in South London.
Okay.
And his label is called LGR.
Yeah.
But he's responsible for, Horseman's tune, Horse Move.
Yes, man.
Horse Move, yeah. Is him who produced that tune.
Okay, so
and he had a couple of hit tunes, man. Another one called Funky Sensation went into the pop charts as well. So he's, you know, so yeah, he produced my first tune, Sir Lloyd. Yeah, I used to DJ on his sound system. He used to be a blues dance song, lovers rock. He used to play a lot of lovers rock music and whatever back in the day. And obviously I used to go to his dances and mash up the dance them. So he said, Tip, man, I want you to come on DJ on this tune. So he took me to the studio.
Yeah.
And I was 17 years old. That's when I made my first tune.
That's wicked, man. Can you remember what year that was like?
Wow. It must be about probably around 1982 or something like that.
What?
Yeah,
man, I'm 2 years old in 82, you know?
Yeah, I'm 55 now, brother.
Seriously?
I'm 55 now.
Life treat you good, man. You live a good life, man. It treat you good.
Thank you, brother.
You know, you live.
Thank you. I'm not hiding. I don't hide my age, man. I'm 55, 1965, you know?
I tell you
That's
something.
when I was born.
I tell you something. You're saying you're 55. You're exactly the same age as my mom.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go. You could be my son.
Naturally, indeed. But true. It's a shame you didn't know Jamaica then.
Yeah.
Anyway. So basically, so from that you do that song there, and then you move on. How did that song do?
The song done okay because, you know, at that time Lovers Rock was more a British thing. It was more British reggae vibe, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and Lovers Rock was starting. You had people like Dennis Bovell, who had Matumbi, and then you had Janet Kay, you know, who had Silly Games that actually crossed over into the mainstream. Then you had the beautiful Carol Thompson that had tunes like I'm So Sorry and all of those tunes. In fact, they might even be just before my tune. I think Janet's was in the 70s because they're a few years older than me too. So, but yeah, so Lovers Rock was quite popular. So it did okay in the reggae charts, you know, My Valentine. And then, but from there, it was the sound thing. You know, I kind of really got into the sound. I was always into the sound system culture from my dad, you know what I mean? And then I was just going around to any sound what was, you know, would give me the mic, you know?
Yeah.
And so from my dad's sound, I went on to Mikey Dread's sound. In fact, you know, in fact, he passed away.
From Brixton.
Yeah. Mikey Dread, he have a sound named MJR.
I didn't realize that is that the same Mikey Dread who owned the record store?
No.
Okay.
It's a different Mikey Dread because you had Mikey Dread, the singer. Yeah. With that it was also a DJ as well, a radio DJ, Mikey Dread, and he, you know, he had a couple of hit tunes at the time, but this was the Mikey Dread I'm talking about. In fact, he passed away about a month ago now, and he was the brother of Cecil from King Tubby's.
Okay.
Yeah, you know King Tubby's in the UK. He's the King Tubby's from, you know, the cousin of the original King Tubby's in Jamaica.
Okay.
You know, but so Mikey and my cousin and all of them, they were all friends. So Mikey brought me to King Tubby's sound, and then that's when my career really started to take off. So I went from my dad's sound to Sir Lloyd and Nasty Rockers and all these sounds, local Brixton sounds. Then I went on to King Tubby's, you know what I mean? And then from King Tubby's, you know, started to enter talent competitions, win the talent competitions, and then boom, Musled and Dennis Rowe from Saxon, they kidnapped me and took me over to Southeast London, to Lewisham, to link up with Saxon Sound.
God, that's the one that I know you from, know about you from, was from Saxon Sound. So did you used to travel around? Did you used to travel with the Soundem as well, like over the country?
Yeah, man, I used to carry the boxes, man. I used to, when I was at Tubby's, first of all, obviously you're a young guy and everybody has to hand everybody has to help out.
Of course.
You know, everybody have to, and there's no stars. You know what I mean? It's all about us. You know, we weren't celebrities then. So it's all about just mucking in. So I used to just ride in the back of the sound van, man, you know, with the boxes. And, you know, we drive no matter how far it was, you know, we would go and then we'd help lift in the speakers, set up the sound, you know what I mean? And then when everything's said and done, we get the opportunity to go on the mic, you know what I mean? And then we express ourselves. So that's what I did, you know? And then I think I was at a talent competition in Brixton, and Dennis Rowe and Musler, they were there. So they said, "Oh man, you gotta come and join us at Saxon, man. You gotta come and, you know what I mean, come and join our sound." So I just went over there, man, and then you had people like Maxi Priest over there, and Daddy Colonel was over there, Papa Levi was over there, Daddy, you know.
Yeah, and there's some big names there.
Yeah, and Peter King as well, Fast Style Originator, he was there. So I just said, you know what? I like the vibes out here because it was enough competition. Yeah. So we used to feed off of each other, you know, because Levi come in. If Papa Levi hold the mic and he mash up the place, when you come in, you got to come in just as good. You know what I mean? So I just linked up with Saxon, and then the rest is kind of history, you know?
That's when your career start taking shape properly. How long did you stay in the sound system for until you get your first break?
I think it was maybe not that long, you know, because I think we signed to Greensleeves when I was about 19, so probably about 2 years.
Okay, that's good.
About 2 years, you know, and then Greensleeve came knocking because the Saxon cassettes, them started to circulate. Yeah. All over the world, you know. Yeah. And then because of that now, the labels then became interested, you know.
Yeah. I think something happened to your phone, your camera. Are you losing?
Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody was calling me, so I just declined him. So he'll call back, no problem. But you know, so so Saxon was the thing where, you know, it kind of, that's where, you know, everything started to really take off, because the tapes them started to circulate to America, to Jamaica, to, you know, to Europe. And then the record labels then became interested in what we were doing. So Maxi met up on a guy called Erskine Thompson. Yeah. And Erskine Thompson got Maxi Priest a deal with Virgin. Yeah. And then there was a lady called Suzette, and she worked at Island. Yeah. And Maxi did My God, My King with Papa Levi. Yeah, yeah. And that tune went over and mashed up Jamaica, you know what I mean? So Sly, it got released on the Taxi label in Jamaica. Yeah, so Sly and Robbie. Yeah, Sly and Robbie. And they hooked up Levi with a deal with Island, you know? Yeah. And then Greensleeves, they signed Tippa Irie, Daddy Colonel, Daddy Rusty, and Sandy. Yeah. And then Smiley Culture he hooked up with Fashion Records. Yeah. With Asher Senator, you know, because they used to spar together. So they linked up with Fashion with John Dub Vender, and a brother called Chris Lane. So basically all of the labels them started to snap up. Yeah, the talent, all of the talent around the sound.
Yeah, so the next thing, when did you get your first hit? Before you answer that, when you talk about your music transcend to Jamaica and stuff, I don't know if I told you this before, but when I was growing up in Jamaica as a youth, even up until I was in my 20s, I actually thought that you were actually living in Jamaica and that you were Jamaican born and bred. I thought, I thought you were Jamaican, like. Yeah, now Jamaica background, but I thought that he was like originally from Jamaica because I grew up listening. I grew up listening to one of your songs in particular on the radio, which is "Hello, Darling."
Darling, yes.
That tune. I remember that anytime I heard the name Tippa Irie, that's what I always think. Even till this day, even though I know a lot of your songs, that's the first song that always come in my head, because I remember walking to school and hear that on the radio all the time, you know?
Yeah. No, man, that tune changed. That tune, you know, that's my signature tune.
Yeah, when did you do that tune?
That was in 1986. March 1986, I did that tune. I was, you know, I did, the first tune I did for Greensleeve was Tippa Irie and the Colonel.
Yeah.
Just a Speak.
Yeah.
And then I did The Complaint Neighbor and Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best. All the time, the lyrics are rhyme. All these tunes. And then boom, 1986, I think I was at a People's Club's dance in Praed Street, Paddington.
Yeah.
And I sat outside. I was at the front of the sound van.
Yeah.
And a girl walked by, a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
So I said to her, hello, darling. And she looked at me and said, hello, good looking.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, that sounds like a good idea for a tune.
All right.
So
yeah,
I was recording It's Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best.
Yeah.
And there was a break in the session. I don't know why, but I couldn't get the lyrics. Not even the lyrics right. I think the chorus, they didn't like the way I was saying it's good to have the feeling you're the best for some reason. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a break and then I'm gonna come back to the vocal. And then while I was in the vocal booth, I sat down in the vocal booth, taking a break from it's good to have the feeling you're the best.
Yeah.
And I just started to sing, hello, darling, hello, good looking, hello, darling, hello, good looking. So my producer was like, Tip, what's that, man? I said, nah, man, it's just some tune that, you know, I was vibing. He goes, go on and write that tune. Go on and write that tune. That sound like it's got potential.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I just went home the next day, write the tune, come back, and I said, yo, I got the song, you know.
Yeah.
And then we just drafted in the team, man. There's a guy called Lindell Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember a tune called Can't Be With You Tonight by Judy Boucher. Huge tune.
If I heard it, I probably will know it, but I can't remember.
Well, he was the engineer. He mixed that tune, but it went to #2 in the pop charts in '87.
Okay.
So we got Lindell Lewis, Kyle, who is a guitarist, and then we got a brother called Ray Carlos, who's a great saxophonist, and Patrick Donegan from the Reggae Regulars. And so I had some excellent musicians, and boom, we just created the tune, and then it went straight to #1 in the reggae charts, man. And then Capital Radio started to play it. You know, a guy called Kid Jensen started to play it, and then the next thing you know, boom, it just went straight into the pop charts
all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. So
before we go anywhere,
that's what you.
Before we go anywhere further, Tippa Irie, because for all those who haven't heard it yet, and these youngsters who just popped up in 2000, the millennium kids, as we call them, that will be watching this podcast, you have to give us a cappella that. You don't have to know the whole song, but you got to give us some of that. I'm putting you on the spot. I know you weren't expecting this. It's too late to back out now.
Hello, good. All right. Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. Well, in the USA, I was out walking. A little young girl I was seeking. I see a young girl, she started smiling. I walked over, we started talking. I said, hi, babe. She said, how are you keeping? I said, I'm cool. I'm just doing my own thing. She said, hey, man, I hear you are the in thing. You're Tippa Irie from the Saxon Sound System. That's all y'all get.
Yeah. It's a big tune, man. I remember.
Man, that tune there. That tune took me around the world, man. It made me do Reggae Sunsplash in Jamaica, because my dad left when I was about 16 and went back to Jamaica because he had we have land in Trelawney.
Yeah.
You know, and so after him leaving when I was 16, the next time that he saw me was on stage at Reggae Sunsplash.
Jeez.
So he was
massive,
a proud
man.
father, you know,
Yeah,
proud man.
That's massive. That's massive. That song there, like literally, I have had the pleasure of supporting you on a couple of shows in Wales.
Yes.
And boy, like whenever that song starts, it's like it can't stop. People just want to sing it all night. Like it's almost like you need to when you go perform, you need to separate a hour for that song. Like this hour is for Hello Darling, because all them girls down in Cardiff, they want to sing it all night. Last time I was in Cardiff, even when the song finished, they wanted to bring it back. It can't finish. You got to come back to it. Come on. That song is like, you know what I mean? I think also as well, like when you go to like a big people dance and stuff like that, and that song is playing, those people is like, those memories is coming back.
Yeah, it brings them back. Yeah, it brings it back. It brings it back to your memory. Brings you back to the time, you know what I mean, of when you were growing up or when you used to go out and rave and party. And so people can reminisce. That's why people like nostalgia and they like back. You know, when we do some events with me and the other Saxon MCs, they're always sold out because it brings people back to their youth, you know, and they love that.
That's what I was saying. Like, anytime I heard the name Tippa Irie, or if you just popped up on social media, it kind of take me back to when I was a youth. I just always remember walking to school a certain time of day and it's always the radio. Because then back in the days, we used to walk from Middle Buxton to Brownstown, which was like 5 miles. And you know, like certain times in the day, people listening to Irie FM, when they walk past them shops and things on the side of the road, and you know what I mean? Or in people's house where they play their music. I just remember that song playing all the time. And that's why I grew up literally thinking that you were like Jamaican, living in Jamaica.
Yeah. No, man, I was born, because even our tapes used to reach there. And then you'd have people like Peter Metro, Tonto Metro, a lot of these MCs from Jamaica, they used to be chatting our lyrics, you know? They used to chat our lyrics because obviously the people in Jamaica, they don't know that, you know, there's a sound in England.
I know.
That's doing reggae music.
That's a good point, because when I was growing up, a lot of songs that I used to listen to on the radio as a youth growing up, I thought a lot of those singers actually sing those songs themselves. It's actually as I get older and I start realizing that a lot of these songs as well was like literally big pop songs.
Cover version.
They were all covers, you know. I think Ghost from Monster Shock Crew was one of the main guy when I was growing up that used to sing a lot of songs, and I realized it was like Celine Dion and So I think until this day, that is still a massive thing in Jamaica. I think it's like about 4 or 5 of Jamaica major artists cover Ed Sheeran songs as well. So I think it's
that's right. Lukie D and guys like that. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
A lot of cover versions.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, moving on, we go to so Hello Good Looking come and Tippa Irie starting to travel the world, because I have seen you like in some places, some countries, like because I follow you on social media and stuff, and I see you traveling some countries over the years. I remember you know, see you on some massive stages, some massive shows as well, you know what I mean? Ratatam and those places, you know. So basically, but you're still doing it now for like, I can remember a while back you was saying it was at like 30 odd years you was doing it for.
Yeah, about 35 years. 35 years now.
Yeah.
I've been doing music.
Yeah. So that's really good, man. And I think when somebody is really talented and got real talent and real passion for what they do, I think that's what it takes, because like, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to ask you what keep you going, because I know I see your work ethic. So I know that it's actually not because of anything other than the love for it, even though you got to survive, but the love for it is great. And like I said as well, and I told people this quite a lot of time, like I personally always got a lot of respect for you, because you was the first person. When I arrived in the UK, a lot of artists who got names for themselves big, I met them and they met me and always telling me how talented I was. But you were the first person that sent me a rhythm. And even before you sent me the rhythm, you was on a radio station, I think called RJR Radio or something. Sometimes I was living in Kent and I send you my song, Don't Give Up, and you invite me up for an interview and things like that.
Yes.
get me in the studio. I think you bring me to a studio somewhere over in is this Stratham? Was it Stratham or Croydon? Where was it?
Yeah, Croydon.
Yeah, I remember coming to that studio and to record over there. And yeah, I remember coming there as well. And you on the UK All-Star was there, the General Levy, Top Cat,
Yes.
Daddy Freddy, Congo Natty, and you know what I mean? All of them ones there. And I think when I did that song, I remember one of the songs that people started to give me a lot of respect for back in them days. When I did that song for you on the Jiver rhythm called
Yes.
Because
Rise
that was
Up,
getting a lot of plays. Even when I came to Bristol, I was meeting people that saying to me when I first moved to Bristol was saying, that song that you done called Rise Up, I don't even think you understand, you know, how powerful that song is, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
so big respect for that. I always got a lot of respect for you, you know what I mean?
No, man, no problem, my brother. Give thanks, man. Thank you for inviting me on your podcast, you know what I mean? It's a blessing, you know, and you got to, if you can help, you know, you got to help people, you know, and I've never been a person to be with my head in the clouds, you know what I mean? People are people, and everybody, you know, it's just like you start the podcast, you have an idea and you make your podcast and you can see already that you've done it and there's people showing an interest in what you're doing. So sometimes it's like that when you go to the studio, sometimes, you know, you don't know what's going to come out, you know, you have an idea and then you put it down and then you think, wow. Because even sometimes when I'm writing my lyrics and then I listen back and I'm thinking, how the hell where did this come from? Where did this vibe come from? But it come, and then the next thing you know, you got a tune.
It's true.
And you're always a tune away from something being life changing, you know.
That's true.
So Hello Darling changed my life, but then I made tunes like Ragamuffin Girl with Peter Honeygale and Stress with Lloyd Brown. And Superwoman with Winsome. All these tunes are #1 tunes. And when you went to the studio, you didn't know what was gonna come out, you know, and then somebody have an idea.
That's true. And actually, I remember a few years ago as well, you did a song with this band, which this tune was massive. I can't remember what it's called, but that band, it wasn't.
Hey Mama.
Huh? Oh, actually,
Hey Mama.
That wasn't the one I was thinking. You have got a lot of hit songs, because I wasn't thinking about Hey Mama that you done with Black Eyed Peas. I wasn't thinking about
the Skins.
That's the one. The Skins.
Skins.
That tune was massive.
Yeah.
That was a massive tune. But I forgot that you're Grammy Award winning artist with them Black Eyed Peas, that Hey Mama song.
Yes. That was another blessing, you know, another blessing from the Almighty. You know what I mean?
That's true, bro. That's
like when you win I call that the mini lottery.
Yes, for true.
You know. So, but
I think for you it's more than lottery though, because they said winning lottery more than once is like something in a trillion. Johnson, you have hit the chart and hit the major songs them on many occasions. So I think it's more than lottery. I think it's more about talent, you know what I mean?
Talent, yes.
And I think,
man. Give thanks. Thank you.
A lot of people are drawn towards you because of, you know, the way you are as a person as well, because it's like, you know, it take a great person to be as humble as yourself with all of the things that you've achieved over the years. So big respect for that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And so
Thank you, brother.
Before we wrapped up, what's going on for Tippa Irie now, and what's the future plan that you got running?
Well, right now, tippairie.com, you know, if anybody wants to find out anything about Tippa Irie, just go to tippairie.com. So TIPPAIRIE.com, right? And I got loads of singles out right now. I have a tune out right now called Too Bad Mine. With a tune I produced with Keith Lawrence. I got another one out called Peace and Love. It's another tune that I did with Anthony Richards, another up and coming. Well, he's an elder, but you know, he's still a up and coming artist.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's doing things. And I did a tune with Ras Muhammad.
Yeah.
Who's a guy from Bali, who's one of the biggest artists in Bali. And we done a tune called, the tune is called Step It. Step It in a Babylon, you know? So, but, you know, and obviously, you know, with the pandemic going on, you know what I mean? I'm just looking forward to getting back to performing in front of people. I actually got a deposit from a promoter recently. Yeah. So that I'm hoping that they know something that we don't know. And it looks like, I don't think he would be paying me the deposit if he didn't think that his festival was going to go ahead.
Not unless he's making money himself and want to throw away something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping to God that we get to perform and sing again. But yeah, man, no, man, if they go to my website and check it out, they will see all of the stuff. And I got a book coming. I'm writing my book right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and the book's going to be called It's Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best.
Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Very good thing to have the feelings you're the best as well. Self-confidence.
Yeah. So, you know, so I'm doing my book right now. Obviously, I'm running, you know, my little dub plate thing.
Yes.
What my wife has started and stuff. So yeah, it's
what
all
is that
good,
dub
man.
plate thing called for people that's going to watch this video?
It's called Dub Plate Central. It's called Dub Plate Central. So if you are a sound system and you want a special big up for your sound, you basically contact me and I will sing It's Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best. It's good to have the feeling that Future Man is the best. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
man,
just because not everybody know what a dub plate is.
It's true.
You know, there's sites like Memo. I think there's sites like Memo and Cameo and all these sites, but it's something similar to that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So dub plate central Aguan. And we're just trying to keep afloat because the economy, I'm just praying to God that somebody hits Boris on top of his head and he opens back up the economy.
Yeah, for true. You know what I mean? Just get the house in order.
Yeah, you know, him and Matt Hancock, we want them to free us up, man, you know, and I'm praying to God that is the case very soon.
Yes, man, for true. Mr. Irie, tell me about your social media where people can find you and the internet.
Well, okay, like I said, apart from tippairie.com, you can link me on Facebook. Yeah, just type in Tippa Irie, go and like my fan page. You can link me on YouTube at Tippa Irie TV. Tippa Irie TV. Link me on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. And Instagram is just at Tippa Irie. I got at Tippa Irie and at Tippa Irie and at Tippa TV.
Yeah.
So they can link me on Insta. I don't really do the TikTok thing and Snapchat. I'm too busy for that, man. I can't be asked.
I heard that. Yeah, man.
So bless up.
Yes, Mr. Irie. Have you got before you have to send a message to your fans? Then what you got to tell the people going through this lockdown right now before you leave?
Now, Mr. Second crowd of people, because you know, say that to me. Nobody else about the Tippa Irie. From dancer town, black up dancer country. For all of the people in the community. Now, zim, and me say blam, blam, blam. Well, the sound of the Tippa now the foundation. And the song Mr. Irie, the talk of the town. Please remain sane in the lockdown.
Yo! Yes, Mr. Irie.
Freestyle, you know?
So much. Yes, man, I love it. Thank you so much for joining me on the Reggae Up Yourself podcast, man. And I look forward to see you soon, brother. Thank you so much.
Blessed love.
All right, take care of yourself. Blessings.
One love. Bless I.
Bye-bye. Cool.